What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the former informer, Imran Khan.
Howdy.
Howdy, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm reaching the point where I have to start looking for, diving into the deep world of beard combs, which is not a thing I ever expected to have to do. Because,
Are you just letting it go? You're not going to shave it at all?
It's a quarantine beard at this point, but I'm just kind of curious how long I can get it to grow.
Yeah,
but it's becoming unwieldy.
On my screen, it won't look different on yours, but there it is. It's coming in thick.
Yeah, it's longer than I think I've ever had it.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, it's a little unkempt at this point. I should get a beard comb. Sure. They're all ridiculously haughty. They're wooden things that say this thing was made of mole fur. And I'm like, what? I just need a comb, a little plastic comb. I don't need anything I don't need anything. I need to keep it its own velvet sleeve.
Sure.
Which is
can't you just buy a regular comb at this point then and just use that?
I could, but then there's a thing. I'll always be thinking in the back of my mind, did I not spend enough on this beard comb? Is there something I should have gotten that would be better than this?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kevin, do you have experience with beard combs and have any recommendations here for Imran?
Well, for a brief time, I sold some at
L'Occitane,
but it's supposed to be some hygienic stuff, like the wood that it's made of, that keeps it nice and healthy and stuff. But it's all bullshit. Just get a plastic comb.
Okay,
Don't let them trick you.
I'm pretty excited, Imran. Today at 3 p.m. Pacific time on patreon.com/kindafunny, we're doing the Kinda Funny podcast. Uh-huh. And during it, I'm going to kind of live the dream I've always had, which was before society fell apart. I looked into, you could have a barber come and cut your hair. And I always wanted a barber to come and cut my hair because I hate getting a haircut during a podcast. And so I'm going to do that. But the barber is Jen and she's never cut hair before. So we're going to see how that goes.
Have you guys discussed the cleanup aspect of that at all?
I'm the clean freak. Well, I mean, I should say I'm the obsessive person about it. So I've already thought about the bed sheet on the ground, the bed sheet over me. You know what I mean? And we have experience with cutting Kevin's hair at Extra Life. So I think, I know what I'm getting into. I'm gonna push the computer back a bit so that it doesn't come.
I don't like this plan. I just want to make that clear. I'm not happy about this. This seems like
which part? Me getting a haircut?
Yeah, by Jen. You're gonna look funny, and it's I feel like listen for a second. I feel like you really care about your hair. We always talk about it all the time, and you're always like, "I'm trying to get it right," and it's this is not how to get it right. Have Andy come over.
Well, I can't because of the quarantine.
It doesn't count as social distancing because neither of you guys have gone out. You know what I mean? So
no, it's not how it works. It's not how it works, and I wish I could, but the problem is, it's just we're at a point now. You can't tell because I'm a professional, obviously, and I'm able to pull things off that any other mild-mannered video reporter wouldn't be able to do. But I have no hairspray still, so it's just the pomade I'm putting in here, and it's so long. Though, look how long it is. And at the afternoon, it falls down and it gets in my face, and then I got the hairy neck in the back here. I got the hairy neck. Maybe it's. We'll see what she's feeling when she gets in there. Maybe she just trims it up. Maybe she just trims it up.
I had a professional, Andy, who always cuts his own hair, cut my hair.
Yeah,
and I was still a little worried.
Sure, yeah. But also, my thing is, even if she screws it up, I got a whole month now to let it grow out or do whatever it needs to do.
My hair is getting super long. Do you think I should drive over to Andy's?
No, you should. No, you have to stay away from Andy. He's definitely, I don't have time for this. Instead, let's talk about the fact that Gamescom Lives, Mario's getting more updates, and why aren't more publishers making deals? I'll explain later, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, you should be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames with your questions, comments, concerns, your squad up requests, and of course, everything under the video game sun. While you're over on Patreon.com/kindafunnygames, remember, you can get each and every episode ad-free along with the post show by kicking us a few bucks. But in these tough times, if you don't have the bucks to toss our way, no big deal. You can watch us record the show live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping online. What's happening?
It's harder to sync online.
No, I know. I appreciate you trying. That's all that matters, Imran. You're swinging the bat. That's what I worry about. Housekeeping for you. Boss Baby, Barrett Courtney himself, is doing a Persona 5 Royal stream tonight. He has been playing for a while. He will show you some of the game. And at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, he will be doing Q&A with you while he does all that. So go to twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. You can pop in, see what the boss baby's been up to at Persona 5 Royal. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Mohammed, Momo, Drew Gardnier Fruities, Blackjack, and the kind of funny Destiny 2 PC Clan. Today we're brought to you by PS I Love You XOXO, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 8 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen!
Getting very close to a real baker's dozen, which is terrifying, of course. Imran, let me start you here. Gamescom lives, or will live, in some fashion. Today, Gamescom organizers put this out. After millions of fans throughout the world follow Gamescom online last year, records are also expected to be surpassed in 2020. The German Games Industry Association jointly announced that Gamescom will definitely take place, at least in digital format, from the 25th through the 29th of August. They say it will not be postponed. The same goes for the DevCom Developer Conference, the 22nd to the 24th of August, which starts off Gamescom week. An evaluation will be made mid-May as to how Gamescom can also take place on-site in Cologne based on the latest developments of the corona pandemic at that time, together with the responsible state authorities. If an on-site event is possible, there will also be more information at that stage with regard to which changes need to be made in order to fully ensure the health of all visitors. This has been arranged with the largest exhibitors, therefore all Gamescom plans are continuing at full speed. At the same time, the organizers ensure that visitors will receive a refund for already paid tickets, and exhibitors will be reimbursed in full for payments made to the people who put on Gamescom if Gamescom or DevCom cannot take place on location in Cologne by official order. Further information on the digital formats will be announced in the coming months. This got tipped off to me today when Jeff Keighley tweeted, quote, "In these uncertain times, it's good to have something to look forward to. Gamescom Opening Night Live returns Monday, August 24th. We'll be streaming live then. In mid-May, our partners at Gamescom will update fans on the status of the physical event in Germany." Imran, are you surprised?
I am surprised they're still saying that there might be a physical event.
Yeah.
Like, they're wildly optimistic about that, and they've been wildly optimistic since like the day they started selling tickets. But yeah, this is the right call of, yeah, we're still going to do this just as a digital event. That needs to be the entire thing. I understand why they don't want to. I understand it's a big deal for them. It's a very important event. But at the end of the day, like, this is not the year for that, really.
Yeah. Oh, what I'm surprised about and what I commend them for is being so clear and spelling it all out, right? That's the biggest thing about it, where, hey, this is going to happen on these dates, at least as a digital thing. In mid-May, we will come back to you and we will address this, then we will come and tell you if we're going to actually do this or not. Jeff Keighley already having the messaging for it. It brings up an interesting question from one Frank Furter, who writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. This seems to be something to expect after everyone else has either canceled, rescheduled, or repurposed their events this year. My question is, when should we expect to hear more news about what is happening with the events before? E3, for example, was canceled nearly 3 weeks ago, yet we still haven't heard anything from publishers or developers, to my knowledge, about what they plan to do instead. Is it because there is no news to report, or they are waiting until someone else starts? Everyone is chomping at the bit for more next-gen information, but it seems no one wants to give any outside of how many flops their new box has. When can we expect something exciting and tangible? So, obviously, again, a pretty direct comparison there of Gamescom coming out and being like, listen, this is at least happening as a digital. These are the dates. That applies to DevCom as well. Hopefully, even though I don't think they will be able to do a live event, we will in May address that, go from there and move on. Meanwhile, E3, right, did cancel and was like, we're looking into making a digital event. We'll talk to you later. And then it has been quiet.
Yeah, it's weird that the ESA just kind of like, the ESA reacted as if everything was on fire and they had to immediately put it out and leave the building. Yeah. And which is, like, honestly, that's not a terrible response considering everything that was going on. But they've washed their hands of it since then.
I was going to say, it isn't a terrible response if it was that, hey, everything's clearly fucked. We don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. E3 is canceled. We'll talk to you later. Rather than, hey, we're pulling out. E3 is not happening. We're going to look into doing a digital event.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't
quietly leave the room.
They could not sit on their hands for another couple of weeks while they arrange whatever needed to be arranged. For like, okay, here's going to be when Ubisoft's event is. Here's when Microsoft's event is. Because I imagine at this point, the publishers are just doing it themselves. They're not going through the ESA at all.
Of course.
It's just them. The only people I feel like Microsoft has said they'll still have a thing. Yeah. But they haven't said when that is. I think Nintendo has said they're announcing the new Smash character in June, which makes sense if like a larger show then, like a larger digital presence, but that's kind of what we expected from them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say like what their overall in concert plans are going to be. And I think they don't want to deal with it anymore. They're just going, it's up to publishers, they're going to do their own thing.
Gamescom sure. There's got to be a thing too where the publishers don't want to deal with them. Right. Yeah. I mean, the E3 has been a clusterfuck forever. The ESA has fucked up at every turn. I'm sure the last thing Microsoft in a lot of ways has to feel free, right? That they don't have to worry about them anymore. So if the ESA comes around like, hey, do you want to be part of like, well, we'll give you stuff, but we're doing our own thing and we don't have to work with you for that.
Right. Publishers have always said it was really annoying to have to deal with the ESA schedule because the way it worked is you had to have a show. And if you didn't have the show, you lose your spot. If you lose your spot, you come back next year and you actually do have amazing things to show. You don't have that same period. So like, Bethesda was a particularly weird one where they didn't always have a big show to have, but they needed to fill those seats somehow or fill that time. And sometimes it just wasn't really worth the time or the money or anything like that. So now they can just have their own thing. They don't have to have it like, you don't have to go straight from Microsoft to Ubisoft or whatever that schedule was. And it's not like a big burden on everybody to have like do all that stuff. So I think this works out for them. I think Gamescom's thing, depending on how it works out, like how the actual digital event, I assume it's going to be like a, for lack of a better term, a Keighley Direct.
Yeah.
But like that probably makes sense for that specific thing. I question like, what is the point of having it attached to Gamescom if it's not like, if Gamescom is not a physical event, like why is it going to be like Gamescom Live? Like, are people physically going to be in Germany, or is it going to be a focus on German game or European games or anything like that?
I think it's the shift of, I think it's a direct comparison again to E3 of Gamescom, a show that's been on the rise, and it seems like people are happy with when they go to both consumers and publishers. And I feel that is a brand they're committed to actually doing something with. And I think that with their plans, Gamescom's plans, you assume to definitely come back in 2021, you want to keep that there. And you figure with even, you talk about it's turning into like a Keighley Direct. I think they're still contracting Jeff to make it for them. And that's why the branding's still there. It's smart to some respect of like, hey, especially for them to say whatever that looks like, that it's going to happen digitally at least. Because they're not saying it's going to happen digitally at least as one night live, right? They're saying that it's going to happen at least in digital format 25 through the 29th of August. Like that's 4 or 5 days right there of real things happening that aren't just Jeff's thing that kicks off on August 24th, Monday night.
I suppose that's the way you have to put it. Otherwise, what really differentiates Gamescom Live between that and Game Awards, besides awards?
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. And I as a kickoff, and then what do you do? And then where is Gamescom / Jeff with the whole digital, hey, go on Steam and play the games there and get the demos there.
I mean, that said, like, this is the year for Gamescom. If they can put off a big event and E3 doesn't, like, I mean, it's the ghost of E3 doesn't, I should say.
And that's the thing, as hungry and as, again, well-spoken and straight to the point this is, if they are able to not only pull something off, they're able to actually give something that is awesome. Suddenly I think you could, to your point, like, are the game developers going to be in Germany? It suddenly maybe could become a global brand where Gamescom is happening in Germany, sure, but it's not that. I think of that as, oh, that's a European thing that's going on. No, you think of it as, no, that is one of the tent poles of the industry now. And hey, it's an awesome thing no matter where you are, thanks to the internet.
Yeah, this is their time to strike. It does sound like Jeff Keighley is sort of done with E3. So
just to say
this is his chance to make E3 kind of in his own image. Then this is, COVID aside, this is a best chance like for Gamescom to become bigger.
Yeah, 100%. RobbyRob writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, just like you can, and says, hey, KFGD crew. Gamescom today announced in a joint statement with the venture, I guess, Colin Mesa, in Germany, that they are increasing the digital presence of their show. Although this show is in August, PAX West is in the fall. Do you think conventions such as PAX West or San Diego Comic-Con would ever move into the direction of going digital with their events?
PAX West is also in August, isn't it? Like the very end of August?
Yeah, it's that final weekend that I can never keep straight if it's Labor Day or Memorial Day. That bridges August into September.
Yeah. I am very suspicious about PAX West. like actually going on this year.
Yeah, 100%.
I would, at the moment right now, if you ask me, I would say no, probably not. But at the same
time, do you
time,
think that's just because we're so close to it though right now, right? I mean, like we can't go anywhere.
Yeah, but like there's a larger picture of like PAX West is an American thing. And we're probably the country that's handling the COVID crisis the worst, like internationally. So at that point, are we really going to be that much better than we are right now? I think people will want to believe that we're that much better. I think the larger problem is that Reed, which is like the parent company of like Gamer Network and all that stuff, is also a major events company. And if they can't have any events, they're going to want to push for like their biggest one, which is PAX West. At one time was PAX Prime and all that stuff. Like if they are eager, I think they're probably more eager than Gamescom is right now to say like to not take any cards off the table. And I imagine that they're not going to want to say like, hey, yeah, no, we're not going to have PAX anytime soon. They want to just keep quiet and lay low and hope everything works out.
And hope that it blows over, right? And it's also that thing that even if we get to that final weekend, right, and it is PAX, and you know we've come out of this and we're in a different place, there is still going to be such a pall over the airline industry and traveling and fear that I don't think you're going to see people as anxious to fly up to Seattle from across the country or the world for that matter.
Yeah. If doctors come out tomorrow and say it's over, we're done, lockdown's over, we're safe and good, here's a vaccine, everything's fine, I still wouldn't feel safe going to PAX knowing how crowded and insane that place is.
Yeah, because like sadly, there's not going to be a magic bullet solution here, right? There's not going to be like, hey, we developed a vaccine or a cure, and we are spraying it through planes across the country right now.
Yeah,
like that's not how it works, right?
I mean, last year or the year before, I was like very worried when we were at PAX because that was like shortly after the Madden shooting.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't know that I feel safe here. But you can stop somebody with a gun. It's not easy. It's not fun, but it's possible to identify danger that way. It's a lot harder to stop a disease.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think PAX West will happen this year. And with it not happening, I also don't think they're able to pivot that show to a digital conference. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that the entire show is about being together, and that's not possible right now.
I think you could do, and I don't mean to get dollars and centsy about it, but like as a business, you're talking about ReedPop and how it is a big money generator. I don't know if they canceling that show and dealing with the red tape and all the hassles and contracts and things like that. I don't know if in the same time you're spinning up here's how we're going to make this into a digital gathering place, right? We're going to have a Discord and chat rooms and channels for you to go into. We're going to do live stream presentations from developers. Because even if you're doing that, if you're trying to host those kind of panels, that is costing you so much money to figure out. When in reality, again, if these events like E3, when it disperses, it's not that it's dead. It's just all these developers and publishers are like, oh, we can do this ourselves. We can go make this ourselves. If I'm a developer who is making a demo build for PAX, right? Maybe now I'm trying to get that build already to a point that I can release it early on Steam that you can go play. Mm-hmm. If I wanted to do a cool panel with my friends, why not do a podcast with them as well, or go guest on some people's podcasts or start pitching ideas that way?
Yeah, in a weird way, it does bring us together in a different kind of like medium. Yeah. But yeah, I remember the old ideas of the E3 at home were just kind of like, okay, we're going to give you demos and you can like really experience this, and like Treehouse and things like that started compounding on that idea, but didn't really go that many places because people still like wanted to be at E3. They wanted to be like on the show floor and experience all that. And it's like, there's a certain degree of magic to that. And
of course,
but now that it's not possible, now that we have to find other alternatives, I think we're going to find like a more creative game industry in terms of how it delivers news. Right now, I think
a lot of the barriers are going to fall down in the way they do it. You hope, right? And I do hope that that means that demos that we would go and have to wait in line or play or book behind the closed doors are available on Steam, the PlayStation Store, Xbox. I hope that what I said, where it's like, oh man, we were going to do this panel, they figure out a way to come to Kinda Funny and say, hey, we wanted to do this panel. Can we do it on your shows? Can we take? Because I mean, if I don't even know if a bunch of developers were going to do an awesome panel and they have nowhere to do it, then yeah, fucking hit us up and do it as a Gamescast. Like we'll produce it for you, right? Like, and I don't even mean that as like we're the solution. I mean like I'm sure IGN and GameSpot and a million other people were like, oh, if you wanted to do something rad, come do something rad.
Yeah, the Kinda Funny showcase would not have been a thing 5 years ago, and it like very rapidly became one. And like you are very close to just like veering on the edge of having your own PAX at this point. if you're hosting panels and also indie game reveals.
Maybe we can figure out how to be the digital PAX.
KFAX, there we go.
KFAX, KFAX. It's getting too close to KFA if I don't like it. Number 2 on the Roper Report, we have an update on some of those there Mario games we talked about yesterday. It's Andy Robinson over at VGC. VGC can now confirm that among the Mario titles set to appear on Switch are 1997's Super Mario 64, 2002's Super Mario Sunshine, and 2007's Super Mario Galaxy. One person with knowledge of Nintendo's plans said that the re-releases are being treated as a special anniversary collection of games rather than standard digital ports. Nintendo will also release several other Mario games in 2020. That includes a deluxe version of 2013's Wii U game Super Mario 3D World, which will be bolstered with new content and new levels. The platform holder is also preparing to announce a new installment in the Paper Mario series. As first reported by VentureBeat, the new game is understood to return to the series' RPG roots with a game closer to its N64 and GameCube installments, following criticism of its 3DS and Wii U entries. Imran, what was your take on all this yesterday, then compounded with this today?
That all sounds very cool. Like it's Mario's 35th anniversary. I assume Nintendo was going to do something big for it. And Mario All-Stars was one of their biggest titles at the time of like, hey, look at this. It was one of the first remasters, honestly, of like, hey, look at what we can do with new technology and how we can bring Mario back.
Yeah.
They have not done that in how many years was that? That would have been like 25 years at this point.
Yeah.
So like, why not? Like, why not give it another, like, do it again with 3D Mario? Because there's been way more Mario history now than it was then.
Do you think that it's just a slam dunk and obvious this will be called Super Mario All-Stars 2?
I could see Nintendo's weird with names. I could see them calling it Super Mario 3D Collection, but if they're not putting 3D World in there, maybe that's like weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who knows?
Super Mario History?
Mario History would be good.
Yeah.
Super Mario Anniversary Collection, maybe?
Okay. I'm with you. 35th anniversary collection.
Yeah, all those are like, honestly, you could just put Mario in the box and just call it whatever, and it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. People sell it.
If they can make 3 new Super Mario Brothers games, they could just call it whatever.
Yeah, you believe it? You're lock, stock, and barrel. This is all real because this obviously is rumors, and it's been VGC, and it's been VentureBeat talking a lot about it.
I think they definitely have to have multiple sources confirm it. Seems very likely.
Okay. And then I know you're a Mario guy. You like this collection of games. You're excited for these. You'll replay these.
I will definitely replay them. I'm kind of curious what version of Mario 64 it is. Like, are they doing the N64 version? Are they doing adding some of the 64 DS editions?
Yeah.
Are they like what? Like, are there multiple characters, new stars? Like, what are the assets going to look like? Is it like a Crash style remake or like more of a remaster? Those are a lot of open questions that I'm curious to see them handle.
Yeah, when do you think it gets to announce? Are they waiting for another direct? You think is it going to be part of that June thing?
The rumors were, I think there's a Mario event in April that they were talking about in one of the stories. That seems very likely. Like, if you're gonna do a Mario 35th anniversary thing, and like supposedly that Paper Mario would be announced there as well, you would probably have to announce it pretty soon. So I would guess like within next month.
Okay.
Especially if like their sources are saying that they're getting it from the event details. So
interesting. I'm excited. I love those. Yeah. I love those games. I haven't played, like I was talking about yesterday. 64 I haven't played since it was on 64. Sunshine since GameCube. Like Galaxy since it was on Wii. And then Super Mario 3D World was criminally underplayed. And I love Paper Mario, so I'm excited for a new one of those.
There's a lot of the discourse the last couple of days has been like, or not last day has been which 3D Mario games are really great and which are just kind of good.
Yeah.
So like Reb is one of those people that really loves Mario Sunshine. So it's one of those things that when she talks about it, I'm like, yeah.
I didn't love Sunshine, and I don't think, but it's also the thing is, I don't think I gave it a fair chance on GameCube. Where I remember, I don't think I ever owned it. It was my roommate in college, Kyle, had it, and so I played it there, and like I was just like, what is this? Why has he got a water backpack? I don't want to do this. I basically wanted 64 again, and I wasn't happy with what I got here. So I'll come at it with an adult pair of eyes and see what I think.
Mario Sunshine is a good game, like capital G, good game that has a lot of parts that are really, really bad, like things you would not expect in a flagship Nintendo title.
Well, I'll get to find out soon enough what we think of it, I guess, in the modern age. Number 3, this is more of a question than it's news, but then it's a question I want to give you. And basically, Ghost Recon is talking about its friend pass and trial they're doing. This originally went into deals a day, but then it asked the question in my head, why aren't more people doing this, Imran? So Ubisoft put up this blog post about Ghost Recon, the friend pass and the trial. If you purchase any edition of the game, the friend pass allows you to invite up to 3 friends at a time who don't own the game to join your session and play co-op with you for free. You can invite as many friends as you want, but no more than 3 at a time. The Friend Pass is available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC until June 16th, 2020. Your friends will have to play on the same platform as you, and will need to have the trial version of the game installed with the owner of the game connected. If you do not own Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the trial will give you access to the entire game for 6 hours of playtime. The trial timer pauses when the friend pass is used, and once you reach the time limit, your progression saves and you can keep playing through the friend pass or by purchasing a game. Imran, obviously a deal of the day. Cool that that's happening. My question, though, is a bit more heady. Why aren't we seeing more games do this? Is it macabre to take advantage of the fact that suddenly everyone's at home and waiting to play games or wanting to be with their friends?
I mean, the reason we don't see a lot of games do this is because Ubisoft lives and dies based on how their games as a service work. So they're constantly trying to feed more people in and cycle people in and out. Because eventually you'll get tired of, say, The Division or something, and then you need new lifeblood in to play the next part. So it makes sense for them to do that. They frequently do free weekends. They kind of follow an MMORPG model for a lot of their video games, and MMORPGs have done this exact thing over the years quite often. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for a lot of other games, but I do think the games it does make sense for, say Predator Hunting Grounds is a good example. That game is I think it's a beta this week, right?
No, it was over the weekend. It's done now. It was the free trial weekend. Yeah.
So that's a good example of, hey, just try this. If you want to enjoy it, then you can buy it after that. They should do that. I want to say every 3 or 4 months. Just be like, okay, some people really enjoy this. Let's let them proselytize to their friends about trying to get more players into this game.
So here's my thing, though, is right now, my take on it, I unhear you. And obviously trial passes and free friend codes and all that stuff have happened before. Wolfenstein did it, I know. Mm-hmm. My question is, though, why aren't we seeing more games? And granted, you're seeing it here with Ghost Recon, but why isn't The Division doing something more like this? Why isn't Borderlands giving you double XP right now? Why, Borderlands, I guess, is doing a loot co-op thing right now. But I feel like right now there's a lot of money on the table, I guess, is what I'm driving at, because I'm thinking of video games as a business. But there's definitely a lot of players out there who are ready to play something new as they're locked in their houses. I'm surprised we're not seeing more sales on games, like when The Division was $3 or whatever the day before they announced their expansion, right? I'm surprised we're not seeing more double XP just indefinitely. I'm not, I mean, I feel like more, I would think that on paper that more developers and publishers would be rushing to this, not with, hey, buy the game stuff, but hey, here's a reward for playing our game over everybody else's game right now.
The larger answer to that is that nobody knows what they want to do right now, and nobody's sure what the future is going to hold. So they're if these were single person teams, I bet you that, yes, there would absolutely be people let's just give the game away for free, or let's turn on whatever features or whatever to make it to incentivize people playing our games. I think with everyone away from the offices, with everyone this being larger ships that are harder to turn, it is more difficult for, say, an Activision to get that run up the chain and go everything Call of Duty is double XP this entire lockdown or whatever. Yeah, because people are right now, I think, staring down the barrel of what the video game industry looks like after May, and it's scaring a lot of publishers and a lot of developers too. So I don't think they really know what right now is supposed to look like, and they don't really have any guidance, no precedent for a lot of this stuff, and it's difficult for them to make those kind of decisions. Granted, I think you're right, they should be doing that sort of thing, but they're not in that mental place yet, I don't think.
Yeah, because I wonder if it is that they don't want to be labeled an opportunist on some of it too. You know what I mean? And I guess, Nanobiologist calls out, and you're wrong, that World of Warcraft right now is doing 100% increase in all XP sources until the end of April. This stacks with other XP buffs and is good for all new and current people. So it's happening there, and that's what I'm talking about, of and I could be wrong on this as well, I don't think DC Universe Online right now is doing anything of like, hey, they're getting ready for Birds of Prey DLC in April, but like, there's no giant buff there that I'm aware of. Fallout 76 isn't doing it that I know of. And granted, this is all me talking out my ass because I haven't turned on all these games to check them out. But I do, and like Borderlands is doing for the month of April, increased loot if you play co-op with people. But like Division had done when they launched Warlords of New York a double XP week. And they have, I haven't turned it on because I've been working on a review, but I don't think they're doing that right now. Now, granted, Division in a bit of a different thing as you run around New York City in the expansion in the quarantine. I'm like, oh, this is very real. When I saw them building the fucking hospitals in Central Park on the news, like, Jesus, this
I saw people like comparing the screenshots of New York to the Division, and they were like 1-to-1. Like, yeah, that's where my head needs to be at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also precedent too. Like, you don't want to, if you turn this off after lockdown, like, when does lockdown end? When does it end for everyone? Like, is this going to keep going for the next 6 months for Europe and the US in concert, or is it just us?
We'll see. Speaking of all this, though, number 4, Pokemon Go just had its best week of 2020. This is Rebecca Valentine, somebody we don't know at GamesIndustry.biz. Pokemon Go just saw its best week yet in 2020, despite growing lockdowns and shelter-in-place orders worldwide. According to information shared by Sensor Tower, Niantic's location-based adventure earned nearly $23 million in gross revenue last week, showing week-over-week growth of 67%. That is likely in part due to a major in-game event last week, but seems to be additionally supported by recent changes made to the game to make it easier to play while staying at home to avoid the spread of COVID-19. Sensor Tower additionally reports that last week's total accounted for 13% of all total revenue earned in 2020 thus far, the U.S. spending accounting for 34% of the total. And when I was checking on something else on IGN a second ago, I saw that they had just a headline that was like, Pokemon Go's going to let you raid from your couch soon. So more changes, it looks like, encouraging you to play from home.
I mean, you kind of have to be like,
yeah. I mean, geez, like this, I saw too, like somebody had, I don't forget, it must have been on the Reddit, but somebody had screen capped Niantic's bio on Twitter before and after, and they had gone and they like had all the strike through stuff in it of like saying about going outside or play outside stuff, and it's like that. This could have been a backbreaker for them, right? And so again, to what we were talking about a second ago, you have to be able to turn that corner. You have to be able to adapt quickly.
I mean, like, I was thinking as soon as this thing started, like, it's crazy how society just halts the second you can't gather people in one area. So, like, the video game industry is a very interesting one because the end result is always a thing you can do in isolation, which is great for the quarantine lifestyle, but a thing you can't make in isolation.
Yeah.
So there have been video game development offices that have been cleared out, and the games are supposed to come out fairly soon. There are games that need to be bug tested that can't be bug tested because you can't send NDA builds to like bug testers individually.
Yep.
So they need to start figuring this stuff out, and it is easier for some developers to just go like, okay, let's pivot immediately to something that makes this work. And it's harder for a lot of other ones because they can't do that as easily.
Yeah.
So it's a broader problem than just video games, but it is
every video game company is different, right? Every video game itself is different in how players use it.
Yeah, 4 people making an indie game remotely have honestly probably an easier time now making a game than Nintendo would.
Yeah. Speaking of all that, strap in for three bumpy rides here. Number 5 on the Roper Report, COVID at Kojima Productions. This is Haydn Taylor at GamesIndustry.biz. All staff at Kojima Productions are now working from home after one person tested positive for COVID-19. According to a statement from the Tokyo-based developer, the employee was sent home March 20th and later diagnosed with the virus. Quote, "We are working closely with public health authorities, and they have informed us that since this employee was not in the office at the time of symptoms onset, all other Kojima Productions employees are not considered close contacts, meaning that it is not mandatory to close the office," reads the statement. Although they are all working from home now, as Haydn reports. Rolling from that one into number 6, Minecraft Dungeons has officially been delayed. If you remember, I read on Kind of Funny Games Daily, I think 2 weeks ago, but maybe even last week, depending on how time works anymore. Yeah. They tweeted this. "As we're working from home to do our part in protecting our community, our workflows will unfortunately be impacted. We're working hard to deliver Minecraft Dungeons in April, but we're also reevaluating our timeline to make sure we bring you the best game possible. Stay tuned. which of course was a coded message of this game is not coming in April. Sorry.
Yeah.
Today they confirmed that. Gather your friends and gear up for adventure. Minecraft Dungeons is coming out May 26th on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Game Pass. There was a post from the Mojang team over on Xbox Newswire, paragraph I pulled from there. As you all know, we initially planned to release Minecraft Dungeons by the end of April. However, due to the current state of the world, this was no longer possible, as we wanted to guarantee the health and safety of our teams and empower them to deliver the best possible experience to you, our players. We hope you'll find it worth the wait. And then number 7, we'll talk about all this. Wasteland 3 has been delayed because of COVID. This is Steve Watts over at GameSpot. Wasteland 3 has been set for a May 19th release date on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, but difficulties introduced by remote work caused by the COVID-19 outbreak has pushed the game back to late summer. In a development update posted on Twitter, studio head Brian Fargo said that it will now release on August 28th, 2020. Quote, as with most companies, we moved to a work-from-home environment some weeks ago, and that's, of course, introduced new challenges that many of us throughout the world have been learning to manage, Fargo said. We've been excited to see the Wasteland 3 beta so well received, but the reality is that with these new logistical challenges, our release was going to be impacted, end quote. He said the extra time will allow the studio to react to beta feedback and generally optimize and polish the game. In particular, he said the extra time will allow for extra work on the co-op experience. Quote, we're pouring our hearts into this game, and the last thing we want is to have anything but an amazing launch for a product we truly believe in, end quote. Imran, are the dominoes just going to keep on falling from here on out?
Pretty much. I think right now, like from what I've talked to developers about, they seem to think, okay, everything through April is fine. Through May gets a little iffy.
Yeah.
After that, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to game development, what's going to happen to game releases. Like, are physical games still going to come out? Is anyone going to be there to buy them? I don't think, from a logistical standpoint, I don't think the psychology of America will stand for this country just being shut down for that many months. But also, who knows if we really have a choice? But like. Honestly, it's going to be stories like this for a little while longer. Of like the Kojima Productions one of, okay, somebody in the office got it. What does that mean for us long term? And for some people, it's going to be we have to evacuate the offices. And for others, it's going to be okay. We're fine being from home. We're totally okay because like I imagine Kojima Productions now is knee deep in the PC port and the photo mode and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they still have work to do on Death Stranding, even if like the rest of the stuff is not all that intimately need to be worked on. The other stuff like Minecraft is a software delay. That game is probably very close to done.
Yeah, you figure they were on the run up to the runway here, right? I was like, all right, cool, we're almost there, and then this just gets in the final way. Which we of course today, PS I Love You XOXO with me and Bless. We talk a lot about everything going on with Last of Us and then Ghost of Tsushima, right? Like Last of Us getting pushed as it did, right? Where we should have been playing it, and then it gets pushed, and then it's like, cool, that May dates were fuck, and then all this happens. Like, where does that leave what Naughty Dog was working on? Were they in the midst of bug fixing? Were they in the crazy crunch that they get? You assume, it's the same thing where I don't think there's been any official statement about working from home. I could be wrong. But obviously you're mandated to work from home. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah,
I mean, California is like essential business only right now as an entire state. And this is like the 5th largest economy in the world. So like there is a certain wisdom in just saying, you know what, screw it. Like we need to just back off for a little bit. I don't think there's a good long-term solution that anyone has really figured out right now.
Yeah. And I think everybody gets a pass on this, right? The fact that we're recording from home and sometimes the audio wigs out or the camera wigs out, you understand it because you're at home probably too. And like it's the same thing with this where like I know right now I'm very it's like I was talking about yesterday with Andrew, right? Like we're very much in the oh my god, games moment of this, but it's because we're on a games show. As soon as you step back and look around, it's like I want all these people to take all the time in the world. I hope that's coming through in what I'm saying. I'm not saying at all, fuck, this sucks. It's like, it's disappointing, but it's also disappointing so many people are dying. So I'm not too hung up if Neil Druckmann needs more time or if I was really looking forward to playing Minecraft Dungeons. Still am. I'll look forward to it in May, not April. It's okay.
There was a thing yesterday where like a bunch of Sony movies got delayed.
Yeah. Oh,
and
God,
like I think I tweeted you about that. It's like somebody tweeted in response, and I didn't think about this. Like when theaters do eventually open back up, what are they going to show?
Yeah.
And that's a good question because like production of everything is shutting down. So at some point, I was watching Hulu yesterday. I was like, oh, thank God I still have TV to keep me sane during this. At some point, that's going to stop too, and I'm gonna have to go backwards into older like older things that were already made.
Yeah, well, I hadn't even thought about it. I saw a headline yesterday. I didn't read the article, but saw the headline that like ESPN's like showing sports movies now because there's no sports, and I was like, oh fuck, right? I didn't even think about that ramification of this.
Yeah, the NHL is showing like esports and like simulated games through like NHL 20 and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like people are making do, but again, it comes back to the psychology of the country. What's going to be the long-term ramifications of that, and are people going to like accept long-term ramifications, or are they just going to assume this is going to be done in a month or two?
It's crazy. Sorry, I have this multiple monitors set up here, right? So I finally, for once, I was like, you know what? I'll just leave the Twitch chat up because it's interesting to see if I miss anything. I like Moneymaker 110 here. Is people dying the biggest bummer? Greg Miller investigates. I'm kind of funny. Number 8 on the Roper Report, and finally for today, Outer Worlds Switch launch has details. Set to launch, Outer Worlds on Switch is going to launch June 5th, 2020. The retail version of the game will be available in both physical cartridge and digital download. Upon release, the game will be accompanied by a day one patch that could take up to 6 gigabytes of space. This patch improves the overall experience by adding high-res textures, various gameplay optimizations, and more.
So this is, I don't want to call it like a feel-good coronavirus story, but it kind of is, because they were the initial canary in the coal mine.
Oh, really? I don't remember this.
I think it was late January or early February. Take-Two had a financial call where they said, yeah, we're going to delay Outer Worlds on Switch because there's this virus thing happening in China where Virtuous's offices were, and they were porting the game. They're like, well, they can't get into their offices right now, so we're going to have to delay the game. Originally, it was supposed to be digital only, but they're going to use the time to like make carts for it, make an actual physical version, and they appear to be like actually patching it because they're working from home, doing it like with high-res textures, all that stuff. So this kind of worked out for them, I guess, because the game was really supposed to come out in March.
It's good enough, yeah. But hey, yeah, it's the bounce back of it, right? That it's actually that.
So maybe like that'll actually work out. If everything can follow that lead, maybe it'll be gaming industry won't suffer so badly after May.
Maybe we'll have to see. Imran, you know what else we'll have to see about? Our sponsors. Let me tell you about it. Today, of course, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. We're brought to you by the one and only PS I Love You XOXO. Remember, each and every Tuesday on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe, Blessing Adeoye Jr. and myself come to you with all the nerdy PlayStation opinions, news you need to know about. We do 104 games. We're rating and we peep your PlayStation profile and so much more. If you like that, you can check it out, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. You can check it out on podcast services. If you're already a viewer, consider going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to get the show ad-free and get your questions read. If you already do all that, leave us a review on iTunes. Like, subscribe, share, show it to your friends, whatever. You know how it is. Imran, I'm excited to see if the Outer Worlds will actually run on the Nintendo Switch. But June 5th, 2020 is so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and graph shops, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Bubble Bobble for Friends on Switch is out. Creature in the Well is out. That was already out. That I'm going to say here on the thing. Persona 5 Royal on PlayStation 4 is out. Operancina, The Stolen Sun is on PlayStation 4 and Switch. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is on PC. The Complex is on Xbox One and Switch. It's on PlayStation 4 too, but maybe it doesn't roll out today. Treachery and Beatdown City is on Switch and PC finally.
That's Curious. A good title.
Right? Yeah. Curious Expedition is on PS4. Ty, the Tasmanian Tiger, is on Switch. Zombie Army Trilogy is on Switch. Chapeau is on Switch. Stones of the Revenant is on Switch. Melody Fight is on PC. Fates of Ort is on PC and Mac. Cork the Volcano is on PC. Abacus Finch is on PC. Swatch Out is on PC. Soldad is on PC. Good Company is now available on Steam. Resident Evil Resistance's beta is up for all now. Remember, it was delayed through some technical issues.
The more I think about the title Abacus Finch, the more I love it.
All right, it's really good. It's really good. RobbyRob wrote in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to make sure I told you that out today, Sonic the Hedgehog the movie is on digital platforms for $19.99.
Did you see the deleted scenes?
No.
They have one of Baby Sonic from before the redesign, and he is horrific.
Jesus God. Jesus. Did you watch that movie?
Yes.
Is it good?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I was in a theater with like children as well, and their like excitement for it was like infectious. So the things I would normally be cynical about, they were like, "Yeah, this is so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, this is actually kind of cool."
In the moments of downtime at night after dinner, before I go back to work on whatever we're reviewing, because there's just been a million goddamn reviews, Jen and I usually pick something to watch. And usually what we've been going with is let's put on something that we're interested in but not in love in. That way we can play Animal Crossing during it. And this strikes me as it might fit that quota.
Yes, that would definitely work for Sonic the movie.
Check in every so often. What's James Marsden up there? All right, check back in. Go.
He's with some CGK.
This is oh my God. Wait, which one's the horrifying one? Or are they both horrifying?
The one on the left is the more horrifying one.
But he's not finished, right? Those effects aren't finished.
Well, yeah, they're both like, I think those are both pre-redesign.
Okay. Because that's one of those things. I just whatever. It's people all flipped out about Sonic. Whatever. You know what I mean? Kevin, you with me? Whatever. Just let him look like what he looks like.
Dude,
you know?
whatever. Just make whatever, dude.
He's a hedgehog and he's all fluffy. Well, who even cares?
I don't. That's for sure.
You don't, and I appreciate that about you. New dates for you. Sound Art is coming to the Vive, the Rift, and the Quest on April 2nd, 2020. Airhead comes to PC, PlayStation 4, Switch, and Xbox One in 2021. This week, this should have been a new date, sorry. But no, this should have been out today, whatever. Red Dead Online has a new Showdown mode variation, Name Your Weapon, along with a number of Bounty Hunter and Collector bonuses, discounts, and more. Planet Zoo South America pack arrives April 7th. And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is out on PlayStation 4 today. However, so you're like, wait, why is this in new dates? It's because it's out on PlayStation 4 today, but it turns out that this Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered has an exclusivity period on it. It's going to launch on PC and Xbox One 30 days later on April 30th. You can pre-purchase it now if you want. The remaster has been handled by Beanox, supports 4K resolution in HDR. By the way, I stole this. This was breaking news. I stole this from Matt Perslow at IGN.com today. So there you go.
I found out yesterday that apparently they accidentally announced this or talked about it during the Game Informer Modern Warfare trip. During the rapid questions, Ben Hansen asked, so are you guys working on Modern Warfare Remastered 2? And the director of Modern Warfare says, oh, those guys are doing something else over there. We're not concerned about that over here.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're like, oh wait, they probably should not have said that at the time.
Oh dang! And the other thing I meant to put out there is that out today is the Death Stranding patch that gives you photo mode on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's 2 months until the PC release. So
yeah, that's what you're talking about. They're still working on PC, obviously. Deals of the day for you. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which means that you have a free 30-day subscription you should give away to somebody on Twitch. We'd love it to be us. That's right, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're a podcast listener, maybe you had to take away your Patreon, maybe anything else happened, but you don't use that 30 days. They don't remind you. It just sits there and goes. Anyways, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, and Twitch Prime has announced their next set of games. Beginning today and throughout the month of April, Prime members can claim loot for the top titles, including Doom Eternal, Destiny 2, Borderlands 3, and Apex Legends, along with new drops across Riot's suite of games, League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, and Legends of Runeterra. This month's free games with Prime lineup includes something for everyone, with titles including Turok, Etherborn, Light Matter, Earthlock, and Kathy Rain. Xbox games with gold also got announced. Project Cars 2 is available April 1st through the 30th on Xbox One. Knights of Pen and Paper bundle is available April 16th through May 15th on Xbox One. Fable Anniversary is available April 1st through the 15th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And Toy Box Turbos is available April 16th through the 30th, Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Rayman Legends is also free on PC today.
Oh, where do you get that one?
I want to say it's Ubisoft's launcher, but
okay.
Yeah. Let me double check on that while you move forward.
While you do that, I'll bring you to reader mail. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Go there. Give us your questions, your comments, your squad ups, your everything else. Today, we have a question from Charles Jakobsen. Charles Jakobsen writes in and says, greetings, Greg and Imran. This is honestly a question mostly for Imran. Imran, what's your expectations for re-up NieR RepliCant V1.22474487139? I saw this project was handled by Toy Logic, who have an interesting history. Most recently working on the latest Contra, did some work on Evil Within and 3DS version of Dragon Quest 11. I fucked it up. You're our NieR boy. You went to the NieR concert. What do you think of this?
I'm glad they announced that remaster. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that it's NieR Replicant only. So when they originally released NieR, it was for the PS3. They made it was Replicant, which is a younger version of NieR, a younger boy, and his sister Yona was the quote unquote damsel in distress. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. Sorry. So is NieR not the girl with the eye patch and the booty?
No, that's Kaine. NieR is the main character.
Well, I thought she was like BB-88 or something. What's her name?
Kaine.
Never heard that. All right, I apologize.
But yeah,
the
so
girl from NieR Automata is Kaibe?
Oh no, that's 2B. Sorry.
2B. See, I knew there was a B in it.
Yes.
That's so who's she?
Yeah, for NieR Automata. NieR Automata takes place 10,000 years after NieR 1, which itself is a sequel to an ending from Drakengard 1 that most people didn't get.
Okay.
So
got it.
NieR on 360 was an old to appeal to Western fans. They made like an older, gruff, like father NieR. The script is almost identical between both games, but one has a younger protagonist, one has an older one. So they're only doing the younger one for the remaster, which is not something I necessarily agree with because I think the father is a better dynamic. But whatever, that's fine. As far as expectation goes, I'm trying not to have any because when the second you have expectations with those games, that's when they fuck with you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because like they said, we don't even know if it's gonna have another ending or something else. So like, I'm just gonna let them like do whatever they want to do, and I'll experience it when it comes. I'm curious what the new recordings of music sound like. Like, are they gonna are they remastering it? Are they re-recording new ones? Are they bringing in like Janique Nicole from NieR Automata to sing some songs in this one? I am very excited about it, but at the same time, like NieR is one of my favorite games of all time. So if they say let's if they add new dialogue and they don't record it, like they record with a different voice actor or a new voice actor or something, or they don't have Laura Bailey like screaming at you in the intro because she's too big now. Then like
Laura Bailey's not too big. She'd still do it.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
Kevin, it's 10,000 years before the eye patch woman.
Should I play the last NieR Automata? Is that
there's connection, but there's no connection till like the very end of Automata.
I think he meant he just played because it's a good or bad game. I don't think he was like you did try to understand any of this.
No, if you, I like it a lot. It's an action RPG and it's not a particularly deep action RPG, and you can get kind of bogged down in side quests and stuff like that. So it's one of those games where you play as much as you enjoy it, and then you just move on.
Don't do it, Kevin. Play Division with me. Come play Division with me, please, Kevin.
Also, Rayman Legends is free on Ubisoft's launcher. Yes.
Yeah, get that instead. Yeah. Imran, it's time to squad up. This is where people write in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, giving us their name, username, platform of choice, and why they need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you. Today, Tim needs help on Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. That's how you know it's not our Tim, because our Tim's a big dummy and won't play Animal Crossing. This Tim, though, you can get at SW600806198113. None of my friends have Animal Crossing New Horizons, so I currently am stuck with only cherries and peaches. I would love to visit other islands and get some other fruits. If you have other fruits to give Tim, hit him up. 600806198113. Play some Animal Crossing together.
Hey, here's an ethical Animal Crossing question for you.
Oh, God.
Do you think it makes sense to go to someone who you don't know's village for turnip prizes? Or do you just keep that in your social circle?
I just did that today. Gary, because if you saw it yesterday, Gary would have streaming Animal Crossing every day, twitch.tv/Gary Whitta. He does it as a lead into Games Daily now. So he goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 1 hour before us. You can go there and then he sends everybody over. Yesterday, I popped in getting ready and he was all ready to sell his freaking turnips for like 15 bells more. And I was like, wait till I'm like, I don't sell unless it's 500. He's like, that's crazy. That never happens, blah, blah, blah. And then then all day he's sending me spreadsheets and he's sending me screen grabs. And I'm like, yes, I'm telling you this, Gary. I know this information. And then today I woke up to more friends who were sending me Google Docs of like, track your prices here. I'm like, it is 2020. You are all overthinking this. All you have to do is use the internet at all. In this thing, I see right there, Father Rabbi, I got 639 turnips right now. That's 639 turnips per bell. Like, no, you don't have to keep these spreadsheets. You just have to communicate every day. Shout out when you got a good price. Share your code. Everybody go over there. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna be some Poindexter dork with my spreadsheets and my charts and everything else. I'm gonna be out here playing other games, and then I'll make the money work for myself. Whenever I don't even know who's. I just hoarded myself out. I showed up on some island today. It was called Hyrule. Dropped off, sold all these freaking turnips. I have no idea who that person was. Maybe I caught an STD. It doesn't matter.
I'm so confused.
It's like a stock market, but I feel like the second you cross that line, you can't come back from it. You can't just go like, oh no, I'm just gonna stay with friends. I like that aspect of like, okay, what's everyone's bells or turnip prices today? That's more interesting to me than be like, all right, what has Twitter got for me? All right, yeah, this is how I win.
Whatever. It's just a way to get more stuff on your island. You get more bells, you get more stuff on your island. That's all
you're very much becoming the Gordon Gekko of Animal Crossing.
You know what? That for sure. That's the thing is I won't time travel. That's a bunch of bullshit. But like make a tarantula island, sure. Go here and do this, sure. Now, have I done the tarantula island thing? I tried on Friday, but I was so drunk by the time I did it, I could not do it correctly. So it didn't work in my favor. But my wife.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Tarantula Island?
Yeah, so tarantula self. So how, Kevin? I'm gonna start very small. You tell me how much this makes sense to you. All right.
I'm here.
In Animal Crossing, you harvest and build things, right? And then you sell those things for bells, which is the currency.
Yep. Sure.
So you're always looking for a good deal to get as many bells as you can to pay off your house, to build a bridge, to do whatever.
Of course.
So tarantulas sell for a lot of money. They're aggressive and they're supposed to be kind of rare, but it turns out that if you go, like, you can go visit other islands with a ticket. So like not me going to Imran's island, but me going to a computer generated island. And when you're there, if you just raise the place, tear up every plant, dig up every tree, leave a bunch of holes, do all this stuff, catch every bug, eventually it'll just spawn tarantulas over and over again. So you kind of cheat the island. It takes like a while. Jen does it all the time. She just sits there doing tarantula islands. And then you come back with your pockets full of tarantulas. Then you sell the tarantulas. You make a bunch of bells.
So just to be clear, this kind of cheating, you're totally fine with.
Yeah, of course. Because you're putting in the work there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The time traveling.
It's making a lot of sense. Time traveling, that's cheating.
That's garbage. That's cheating. If I want to put in the work of looking on Twitter and tweeting out, hey, who's got a better turnip price, I'm doing it, right? The game allows for that. And like if they patch out the tarantulas, they patch out the tarantulas, right?
What does that mean, the turnip price?
So so again, very basically, turnips are stocks. On Sunday, you buy turnips, and then twice a day, the rest of the week, you can go get an update, or the price of turnips changes, and you can sell the turnips. So you're looking to buy low, sell high.
Who do you sell them to?
Timmy.
Children.
Yeah, Timmy. Tom Nook's kids in Nook's Cranny.
Okay.
They buy anything.
This seems like a game I could really get into.
Dude, you would love this game. You build and you craft a house. You'd love it. And let me tell you right now, Kevin, it is the reason Animal Crossing is obviously so popular right now is a million reasons. But one of the reasons is for working from home, it is the best game to play working from home. Because it's not like I can't play The Division and be on a call because there's a million things going on. I can't pause it. I can't do this. This game is so chill that you could be doing it all day during Games Daily. And then you'd be looking at the chat and you'd be getting the turnip price. You'd be having a great time.
Can't find that damn stringfish though. I think today's the last day.
Yeah, today's the last day. I saw people flipping out about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
We asked people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. The nanobiologist says it looks like DC Universe Online is doing a different double currency buff each week along with new gear. Not sure if that was done before. I'm honestly not sure either. So there you go. Charles Jakobsen writes in and says Warframe has been doing a 2-time multiplayer and materials weekend for the past few weeks. A couple of them were tied to new content, but they seem to be rerunning them too. That's great. Nanobiologist clarifies something we said earlier. The Take-Two call delaying Outer Worlds was on February 6th. It was also announced by Private Division via a tweet the same day. Nanobiologist has this breaking news. GCX, which I believe is the old Guardian column that they've renamed, has been canceled. He has a link to a tweet. You can read more about it there.
Oh, no, poor Fran.
Yeah, and then all those people, they do a lot of good stuff for charity. I don't know what it means for their streaming stuff. We're going to help out this year. I'm sure they're still doing
Fran.
it. Okay, I apologize. NieR was only, that's the one you don't care about. Well, it was only for PS3 in Japan. NieR Gestalt was on PS3 and Xbox 360 worldwide.
It was only the father in the rest of the world.
And then here we fucking go. Rebecca Valentine writes in and says, Timmy and Tommy are Nook's nephews, not his son. It is important to be clear that we do not know whether or not Mr. Nook has fucked. First off, Tom Nook fucks, right? Don't worry about that.
Like having fucked at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Isabella, that's a relationship right there. They're
I don't
sharing
know
an
that I would
office
go
space.
that far.
Office romance. Office romance. It happens more than you think.
They seem very dedicated to their work.
Nick
Yeah,
Scarpino
they
taught
don't
me.
leave the office. They have needs, all right?
Nick Scarpino taught me don't shit where you eat. That's what he taught me. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything's going on. This Tom guy.
Nick Scarpino is a pervert and you know it, all right?
Oh,
So
Was that a
listen to him.
lecture?
Oh,
Or like
those
by...
are totally disconnected. He shits where he eats all the time. You see poor little Andy?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Tomorrow it's going to be me and Gary Whitta, the man himself, right off his Animal Crossing stream. Thursday, Blessing and Tim. Friday, Blessing and me. Imran, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure we'll see you again on a Gamescast. Probably next week, reviewing something else as always. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, Kind of Funny Games Daily comes to you each and every weekday on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Rooster Teeth, and podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get it, I hope you enjoy it. Consider supporting the show. Remember, just watching, liking, subscribing, sharing it on your social media is good enough by us. If you can go further, of course, you have Twitch Prime. You can use it on us, Kind of Funny Games. You can, of course, go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Toss us a few bucks, be part of the show, and everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a post show to do that you can only get on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.